What's up, brothers? So here's the thing, right? We all got girls, they always love Valentine's Day. It fucking sucks, that's why I'm wearing a stupid fucking apron, but it makes everybody happy. It's a win-win situation. If we cook her a good meal, put her down at the end of the night, we win. Watch SportsCenter and have a good day. So here's what I got for you. Today I got potatoes, I got some bok choy in the fridge, and I also got some chicken and some fish. We're gonna go over the basics of cooking that meal, and then we're gonna call it a day. And then when she gets home, you guys can do it. We want to cut them small, guys, because it's going to cut the cooking time down. Because if your girl's coming home and you're trying to surprise her, you want that shit to be done. Don't buy a lot of fucking potatoes like I did. And then you're going to go ahead and put some oil on that. And then after the oil, you're going to add some salt and some pepper because we're just adding flavor to it. Don't be bashful with the salt, please. Just, if you oversalt it, yeah, you'll look like a dick. But if you don't, then it'll taste like shit. And then we really think you're an asshole. So with that, you're just going to give that a stir. You're gonna take some elephant garlic or just oversized garlic, and the reason why you're cutting this like the way I am and not trying to cut your fingers off is you're gonna add what's called a brunoise. The brunoise is just, it's essentially just gonna go ahead and just go bye-bye, and you're gonna add a shit ton of flavor to it. You might crunch it, you might get a little bit, but it's not gonna kill you, so don't be a fucking pussy and not do it. Just add garlic. If you have cloves, just add half cloves. It's not a big deal. So I hope you set your oven at 350 because that's what about the time it's going to take to cook for 15 minutes. So you're going to give that a stir, put it in your oven. So you ready? 1, 2, kick! After that, you're going to take this onion, you're going to cut it in half. You can cut it in a half moon or you can cut it in small dice. The most important thing is that you sharpen your knife because a sharp knife will help. You won't cut your fingers, but you'll also get a nice cut. This is for presentation wise because we're adding what's called a chiffonade cut with this bok choy in a little bit. So here you're just cutting down, you're making squares. You don't have to do a square. I did it because I wanted to make your lives miserable because I know haters are gonna hate because they ain't us. See? Notice that middle finger, dicks. So we're gonna take this garlic, do the same thing. It's not necessary, but you can do it. It's gonna be better when it just cooks together evenly. So here we're just chiffonading all this bok choy. It's basically rolled up in a little ball and then cut down on it. This is just another way of doing it. And then we have a shit ton of onions. And that's a lot of onions. I feel that's excessive. You don't have to do that. You probably could have cut bigger squares. That's a note for myself, guys. Fuck you. So here, once again, we're just making some mise en place. You can use bowls, squares, whatever you have lying around the house. All you're doing is just making room because you don't want to have a messy cutting board. And then after we're done with this, we're going to set it to the side. See? And then this chicken breast, yep, punk that bitch. So I'm about to show you right now is this tenderloin, or what they use boneless chicken breast for. You can set that to the side. It's just an extra piece. We don't need it. So all you got to do is simply just use your knife. Just cut that bitch right off. Don't need it. Bye-bye. Thank you. And then here, we're gonna take some fat that's been left on there from removing the chicken breast off the breastplate. It looks like a giant vein. Just cut it off. It's just fat. The girl's not gonna like you for it. There we go. And just throw that out. And then we're gonna salt and pepper both sides, because what you do to one side, you have to do to the other. It makes it for even cooking and also even flavor. So the same thing, salt, pepper, flip that bitch. And then you can set it to the side. Now, if you don't like your girl and you want to lose weight, give her the shits by not cleaning your cutting board. That's easy. But I would clean it because we're going to use fish. So here, we cleaned it. Now we'll get the fish. And once again, we're going to go ahead and season both sides. We're going to add a little bit of salt, some pepper. And then on the fish, we're going to add some cornstarch because the cornstarch is going to give us a nice crust. We want to turn the pan up nice and high. And we're gonna really, really, really pack this cornstarch down on it. We want a nice crunch on it. So here, how I'm spanking that ass. You're gonna do your girl later if she has this meal. You know, pat that ass, bang, and set that to the side. Clean your cutting board also. I didn't tell you that, but makes it easier. Here you want to get a spoon. I have a fancy spoon. Most of you guys may not have one. Grab a big fucking spoon out of a cupboard or your pantry. And here we wanted this oil to get nice and hot. You'll see streaks in it. That's when you know it's hot enough. And I would add a lot of oil, unlike what I did right now, and just have a little oil in the front. You wanted a nice even coat of oil around the entire fish. because it's gonna help with the crust process. That's why you added cornstarch. The color should look a little bit like caramel, and that's gonna help basically with flavor profile. So here we added garlic and butter, and this simple step right here is just to add more flavor. And we're gonna finish it off with a little bit of lemon juice. And it's just gonna add a little bit of tartness to it. It'll taste the lemon, it'll just taste like fresh seafood. Something you want in the winter, nice and hearty. I'm gonna let that rest on that napkin. That doesn't look like absolute shit. Fuck that one up. Well, here the oil again is hot, and we're gonna do the same thing for this chicken. Once again, you're doing this because you want a nice crust on the chicken. You want its texture, essentially. That's why you see all these fucking critics and assholes on TV telling you about texture. This is one of the reasons to do it. This is just me fucking off and just la-la-la-ing. Cooking. That's what you look for right there. That's a nice crust. I'm proud of myself for that. I hope most of you don't do that. You don't really need to do that. That's just something. I'd probably get yelled at for that if I was in the kitchen. So 2 to 3 minutes on both sides for the chicken breast. Our potatoes are done. They've been in there for 15 minutes. So now that we've got them all nice and marinated, we're gonna go ahead and give them some more salt and some butter. This is an optional thing because you're just adding more flavor to it. That's all it is just coating. It's really taking in all that flavor. Some salt. Like I said, you can do some pepper if you want. Yep, that's how I roll, bitch. Potatoes. Our chicken's done. Now with this chicken, we're gonna do the same thing we've been doing because butter's like a god. You want butter. This is what makes everybody happy. You're gonna incorporate that, all that foam right there, all that deliciousness is what we're looking for. Now, a good thing to put is this spatula down on this plate because you don't want your chicken to sit in all that juice. You want it to be elevated. The same thing goes for a steak. We got a lot of things to it. You don't really want to eat it. It's gonna make your plate look like shit. Here our bok choy is going into the pan. It's just gonna be a minute and a half process. AKA, if you look away, you'll fuck it up. That's how fast a minute goes. So we're just gonna cook that. We're gonna wilt it a little bit. We're gonna keep that nice bok choy flavor. It tastes like pepper. So you hear someone say it like that? It's just fucking pepper. So we're gonna add all this stuff together. This is basically done at this point. We'll set this to the side. This will go with our chicken. So again, now we're gonna add what we did earlier when we cut up all those onions. We're gonna add this to our hot pan. And all this is gonna do is basically reduce down all that flavor. We just wanna add some butter. We want it to be nice and translucent, AKA you don't wanna see all that fucking white. Just let it cook down. For all intents and purposes, this is just gonna taste bitter, but now at this point, it has become it's become invisible, like invisible fucking children. And then we're gonna add our bok choy, and then this is gonna reduce down. So now with this, we're gonna cut the chicken breast on the bias. If you have a sharp knife, it'll go right through, and that's what you want. We're gonna let this, make sure it's cooked, and just let it sit there. Now with potatoes, we're just gonna plate it and set it in the center of the plate. Don't do anything crazy. The shittiest cooks in the world do plating in the center of the plate. You can do it too. Don't be elaborate right now. It's just your girl. So once again, we're just gonna place it in the center. Our protein is sit on the center of the plate. On the center of the plate. Just remember that, boys. The center of the plate. See that? It doesn't look like shit. I think my mom would eat it. Actually, I'm pretty certain my mom would eat it. She would eat anything. This little mini bottle of vodka that I didn't drink is now coming into play because we're gonna make a vodka sauce. Let that alcohol cook down and add 2 tablespoons of butter to it, and you'll get this, a nice vodka sauce. This is where you make babies, boys. This is where you make babies. Coat that bitch all over it. Even the fish, it works both ways. So now with this, we're just gonna coat it. It still looks a little plain, but you know what, that's all right. I'm pretty sure some of you couldn't cook fucking ramen noodles. So guess what? If you do it this way, you'll cook a perfect chicken breast and a not too bad fish. Even though I fucked up the fish, so I'll give you props on that one. But guess what? Outside, there's these things. They're called onion flowers. They're fucking everywhere, especially in California. See that purple? It's edible. Don't be afraid of it. It's good for you. Your neighbor might hate you because you stole a gang of it, but he's probably fucking old, and he's probably not gonna fucking notice anyways. So just act like you jacked that shit and run off. Add it to your plate, and there you go. All you gotta do is save yourself money. You didn't have to buy flowers, because you added flowers and you stole it from your neighbor. How the fuck we roll? I saved you money, and I got you laid. Be thankful. Look at it. Says, thanks babe, I got you. Yes, I know. Give me sex. Because you gotta clean the kitchen later. Because I didn't do that. That's what I'm doing. Hey guys, so as you can see, I made a simple chicken and a fish dish. We didn't break the sound barrier. We didn't do anything crazy. Hopefully you don't think I fucked it up too much. And to you and your girl, I hope you get laid. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm out.
He's our friend.